Okay, let us start. Yesterday we were discussing about cookies. What is a cookie? How to create a cookie in PHP. As part of that, we have seen several predefined functions like p function, set function, set cookie function. These are the three predefined functions that we have seen. So, in the register.php file, we have created a function called cookies function. We have created below the form register function. So, and above this register function, we have written some code outside of all the functions without using a function. Here, we have used dollar underscore server super global to check what method is used, whether the request method is equal to post or not. If it is equal to post, then only this statements will be executed. Otherwise, it will not be executed. Right? So that means what? Here the post method is equal to must be post. If you use get, then this if block will not be executed, and as a result, this cookies function will not be called. And if this cookies function is not called, cookie will not be created, and register function will not be called. So what we are doing here in this register function is first we are asking or prompting the user to enter his username, his email ID, and the password he wants to use. The password he wants to use. And he enters this information and then clicks on the submit button. Then the request will be sent to the PHP code here, and this PHP code will receive this request and check whether this the request is get or post. If it is post, then only it will accept. And if it is equal to post, then we are retrieving the username entered. So we know someone please inform in your personal group if at all if you have any personal group for your section. Ask them to go through YouTube and share the YouTube video. Please ask them to attend the class on YouTube, and at the end of the class, I'll give 5 minutes time to get admitted. So at 10:30, so ask them to join the class at 10:30 and text their roll number, or they can even personally text in WhatsApp. So don't ask them not to disturb it now. Fine. So we are retrieving that username because this username, this email, whatever password you entered, all these three values will be stored into the dollar underscore post error with their index names exactly matching with this name attribute values in the text input tag, right? So that is username, email, and password. So we are not retrieving email, but we are retrieving only username, password, and storing the dollar name and dollar value. Then after that, you are making call to the cookies function by passing both these values. So the cookies function will receive this parameters. Name will contain username and value will contain password. Then by making a call to set cookie function, you are giving a name for the cookie. So the name of the cookie is given as what? It is given as, in our example, the name of the cookie is what? Username. Whatever username, the username. Right? And value stored in the cookie is but password. Right? So we are creating a cookie with its name as username, same as the username value, value as password. So in our example, I've given uh, username as Rishit and the password as that Rishit will be stored. The name of the cookie will be given as Rishit and password whatever I enter that will be stored in this cookie. Now this cookie will remain for how many days? 30 days. Right? Then you are making a call to the register function by passing the same username and password as parameters. Then this function, what is this function going to do? Check if a cookie is created already with that particular username and password, right? So to check whether a cookie is set or not, the entry into a super global array is created or not, you can use the set function. So this is going to check whether an entry with key with name, username, whatever you entered there is created or not. Right? So what is the username I have given? Say username is nothing but I have given password say I have given. So dollar name is nothing but whatever username you have given. So with this name Rishit, whether a cookie has been created or not, that is going to be checked by the set function. If it is created, then it is going to return. Otherwise, it is going to return false. So if it is created, for example, that if it is existing already, then this will, if it is created, then it is going to display a message registration successful. Otherwise, try again. You can modify this try again. Yesterday, when I tried to create a cookie with Rishi, what happened is that cookie is already created. So that's why we got echo try again. If you create a new one, then you'll get a registration success. Okay? So this is how you create a cookie here. So where this try again message or registration successful will be displayed means where is this PHP code available after the H4 heading. What is that heading? Sign. So below the sign in link, you'll get this message. Let me open that. So after sign in button here below this, I'll get that message. Otherwise, if I click on sign in, what is happening? It is going to click on register. It is asking me to fill something. So that cookie is already available, then it will be tried. Further, if you want to check even the password also, then you can retrieve the value stored in this dollar cookie. Then you can retrieve that value, password value, and store it in some variable. And compare that password also during sign in. During sign in login, what we need to do is we need to check the password, not in. So this is not suggested to be used in registration and login system, but I just simply I want to show how to use cookie. So that is the reason why I use. But real time application creation, don't use the cookies to create a registration and login system because that is not a good practice. It will not work also. Your application will not work properly. Even now also can see why it is not working properly because what is going to happen is the cookie can create multiple entries. Whereas if you use a database, what will happen? You can create a username in a unique manner. Password, it can be same or different, it doesn't matter. But username will be unique. So when the username is unique, you'll get the output exactly whether the registration is successful any other, let's say, any other error has occurred, that will be displayed properly. But if you are using a cookie, this cookie may create multiple entries with the same user. Okay, so it may not work properly. So don't use this just for the sake of creation of cookies. I'm showing you. Even without this programs also, you can create cookies in a simple example program. I can show you how to create cookies, but I want to show you in a different way. So that's the reason why I use this approach. So don't use the login registration login system. Don't create registration login system using cookies. So during login, what is going to happen is login page is login page code is defined in index.php. So when you open this login page, if you have already created a cookie, then your username and password will be stored in that cookie, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to log in with that particular username and password. So you enter the username and password. For these name attribute values are given as username and you pass respectively. So when you submit this form, because method is equal to post and you're submitting the form to the same PHP, then this PHP code will be executed. Then what is this going to do? Dollar underscore post of uname means what? Whatever you enter the username of. So that will be checked whether an entry has been created. Dollar underscore post. If it is created, then this empty function will not return. Uh, it will return false. If it is not yet created, then it is going to return right. So now username must be created. Username must be created because you have submitted. That in the case, what is going to happen here? This empty function, what is it going to do? It is going to return false, right? Because it is created, it is not empty, so it is going to return false. If it is returning false, then that is negated by using the complement or not operator. So this will make you true. So if it is not empty, means what? Username has been created and it is available. So in that case, what we need to do? We need to retrieve that username and store it in variable. And password also you need to retrieve it, store it in this variables. Now we need to compare this username and password with the cookie values that are already created in the registration, right? So how to do that? We'll check whether by using isSet function, we pass dollar underscore cookie of username. So with the same username that we logged in now here, a cookie is created earlier in the registration. So both must be same. So we'll check by using dollar underscore cookies of dollar username. Check whether it is set up. If it is set, then what we are going to do? We are going to compare the password whether password is matching. So where is the password that is entered in the login page is in dollar password. So you need to compare that with uh, cookie value, right? So here we just check whether a cookie has been created with this username, but we are not retrieving the value stored in that cookie. So what is the value we stored in the cookie? The password, right? So to check to compare with the password value, that is username value, cookie value, what we need to do? Dollar underscore cookie of dollar username and so its value will be returned. Its value is nothing but password. So that password we are comparing with dollar password. So this is going to have what? The password that we entered during registration. And this is nothing but the password that we entered now in the sign in page or login page. So both must be same. So if both of them are same, then we'll uh, transfer the control or we'll redirect the current page. Currently we are in index.php. Right? So we'll redirect the current page to another page called home.php. So to do that, we have a predefined function called header. So this receives one string parameter, and in that string parameter, you must definitely mention location keyword here. So it is mandatory. Location followed by a colon. Then you need to mention which page you want to transfer the control or redirect the user to which page. So this will happen if the cookie username is set and its password is matching, right? Then if the cookie is not set means what? the user does not exist. In that case, you are going to execute this else block. What is this else block going to do? It is going to display invalid credentials. So that is how this application will run. So without using this, simply we can also create. I'll show you one more program. So home, index, and register are related to registration and login system. Delete, create, restore are different programs. Here I'm not going to use any registration and login system. Simply in these pages I'm going to create. So to create a cookie, I have a create.php file. Look at this create.php. So when you load this create.php file, automatically calling a set cookie function at the beginning of the page. So this page will be automatically executed, this part, after the page is loaded, because we are not writing it in any function. So set cookie function, what it does, as I told you yesterday, okay, it receives the first parameter as nothing but the name of the cookie, second parameter as the value of the cookie. The third parameter is the time for which you want this cookie, that is the lifetime of the cookie. So for how much extent you want this cookie to be stored on your client machine. So that time you have to mention a third parameter. And fourth one is the availability of the cookie, whether you want this cookie to be available in the entire folder or you want it to be available in a specific folder of your application. So if you give forward slash, it will be available only within all the entire application. That is, if you create any subfolders also in your application, them also they will be available. So I'm creating a cookie with its name as user and its value as ABC. Time is 30 days. So after setting the cookie, now the body section, again I'm writing the PHP code here. Look at the PHP code, what is it doing? It is checking whether a cookie with its user, with its name as user has been set, right, by calling set function and passing dollar underscore. So if it is set, then it is going to return, otherwise it is going to return false. So let us say, for example, it has been set, it has been created. Then what is it going to return? It is going to return true. So the true will be complemented to false when it is not operating. So this will become false. Then the else block will be executed. So what is there in the else block? Echo cookie name is set, right? Cookie name, dollar underscore dollar cookie underscore name. Its value is dollar underscore. So we are understanding what I am doing. First, I'm creating a dollar cookie underscore name PHP variable and storing string value user in it. And then another variable called dollar cookie underscore value, and I'm storing another string value ABC. Then I'm passing these variables as parameters to this set cookie instead of directly passing user ABC within double quote. Instead of that, because they are stored in these variables, I'm passing these variables as parameters. First parameter is dollar cookie underscore name. Second parameter is dollar cookie underscore value. Right? So once you do this, the cookie will be created. Then, if the cookie is created like this, then this will be displaying cookie where the name is set and its value is so. So how to obtain the value of a cookie, dollar underscore cookie of whatever name you have given for that cookie, that name you have to mention here. Where is that name stored? Dollar cookie underscore name, right? So I'm mentioning instead of in double quote or single quote, I can directly use the variable name. Now if I refresh, so cookie user is set and its value is ABC. Right? So this is how you can create a cookie directly. Simple example for creating. Then, if you want to delete a cookie, delete a cookie, then we don't have any separate function, exclusive function PHP to delete a cookie. What you can do is you can use the same set cookie function, right? And mention the username, that is the cookie name that you want to delete as first parameter. And second parameter, you just give a blank string, okay? And then third parameter, fourth parameter is not necessary. Third parameter, what you will do is you will use the same time function, but you give a negative value after that. Instead of adding some value, you give it a subtract some value, any value, non-zero value. Then what is the meaning of this one? What is the time here? Time function is going to return the current time. And current time minus 3600 seconds is what? Go to some previous time, right? So the expiry time for the cookie will be set as some previous time, which is before this time, or before the current time. Now the current time is 10 a.m. So before the current time is what? It may be 9:59, 9:50, so on like that. It can be any time. So I mentioned 3,600 seconds. 3,600 seconds. How many minutes? 1 hour. So 1 hour before current time means it will be 9 a.m. So automatically the cookie will be expired, right? So we don't need an exclusive function. We need to use the same set cookie function, right? So to delete a specific cookie, mention the cookie name as first parameter. Second parameter, leave it blank, open the double quote without any space or anything. Then third parameter, actually you are supposed to give the expiry time for the cookie. So give that expiry time in negative values. And automatically the cookie will be deleted. So if you execute this one, now the cookie will be deleted and it will display this message: cookie user is deleted from this program. User is deleted. Similarly, I have used another program. Look at this cookie. This is another program. So uh, we are not using this program for any purpose. Actually, I created this cookie store for some other registration page. But instead of writing this code here in a separate page, we have written this code in the same page of registration. registration. So that's the reason why we can ignore this code. So what we are doing is we are writing this code in a separate PHP page. So if the form is submitted, then action attribute value will be used there. Action value will be given as cookie store.php. Then this PHP code will receive that username and password, create those cookies. Then if the cookie is created successfully, then this set function will check whether it is created or not. before registration successful, otherwise before trying. So we have used the same code in our register.php file here in this function, right? So instead of writing this here, I've written this. Okay. So alternatively, you can do this. So this is how you can create cookies. And if you want to know what are the cookies available, you can just traverse through the dollar underscore cookie super global. So I'll tell you how to traverse it later. We'll discuss about for each and for each loop, which you don't find it in C language or in programming languages. So I'll show you how to use for each loop. Then when we discuss about that for each loop, then we see how to retrieve all the cookie entries and their values and display them in the program. Right? So let us keep these cookies aside. We'll discuss a new topic called sessions. So sessions or session handling. This session handling and cookies concept, both these concepts will be there in any server-side scripting, just in PHP. So we'll see them again in servlets in the next unit, JSP in fifth unit. But they are of different technologies. Okay? Just like there are classes and objects in Python, there are classes and objects in Java. Similarly, cookies and sessions will be there even in PHP, servlets, and JSP, but they are different technologies. This is we are discussing now about cookies in PHP. Later, we are going to see cookies and sessions in servlets. Then later, in fifth unit, we are going to see same JS, how to use cookies and sessions. But one important thing that you need to understand is what is the purpose of these cookies and sessions in real time. So as I told you, cookie can store a small piece of information. That information will be stored on the client machine. Then what about the server sessions? So unlike cookies, sessions also store information. But the information, instead of storing it on the client machine, it is going to be stored on the server machine. Okay. So why? Because if there is some confidential information that you're storing as part of the cookies, what will happen? That confidential information will be stored on the client machine. If the client machine is a personal computer, then there is no issue. But if somebody else is using, if a second person or a third person is using a personal computer, or if you are using a public system, that means you go to an internet center and use this application there, or you use it in public place like college, where several people will be using the same system. Today you are using one computer system in a particular lab. Next day somebody else will come and use the same system, right? So everyone can view the cookies. Anyone with a little knowledge on computer science, how to use browsers and how to use internet, they will automatically, they can automatically, they can easily, very easily know about the cookies, what are the cookies stored on the computer, and they can see the values of those cookies. If that is the case, if you are storing some confidential information, if you are using some confidential information in that application, then that confidential information, if they are stored in cookies, you lose your security privacy. So to avoid that, we can go alternatively for another thing called cookie sessions. Along with that, sessions are also useful in other way in our web applications. Say, for example, earlier when we were using registration and login system, so when I give the login, say, I'm an existing user, logging in. When I log in, what is happening? I'm coming to home.php. So what is there in home.php means nothing. Simple. We have used CSS and created two divisions. And in the first division, we are giving a different black background color, navy color. And in the second division, we are not using any CSS. So it is completely blank. So in the first division, we are simply displaying a message before welcome and then sign out anchor tag hyperlink. So when you click on this sign out, you will be redirected to signout.php. Because signout.php page is not created in your application, so it is showing you as 404 error S. You have seen that, right? So nothing much we are doing in this home.php. But after you, in a real-time application, after you log into your application, without clicking on sign out, if you click on back button, you must not be directly sent to the login page, right? Even if you are sent, if you are logged out, then if you click on this forward button of your browser, then you must not go to this page. You must not go to this page. That means what? Uh, you use a public system somewhere in an internet center or in a college like institute. Log into your application and then you will sign out of your application. When you sign out, you will be redirected to this login page, right? So after coming back to this login page, you left the system like this without closing the browser. And it is a commonly used application. Let us assume even if you close the browser also. For example, you take Gmail. So you go to your internet center, you use your Gmail on that system. Say for example, after using it for 1 hour, you logged out of your account, you closed your browser, and signed off from the system, and you left. And after some 5-10 minutes, some other person has come. The same system has been allotted by the internet person, internet center person, or a second person, right? Then what he can do is he can open the same Google Chrome browser. He also wants to log into Gmail account, his Gmail account. Then what he'll do, he'll open this Gmail home page, login page. So once he enters into this login page, he can click on the browse button, forward button, or backward button, right? Because you didn't close it, what is going to happen when you click on this button? You'll go back to your account. That is the previous user's account. This kind of thing should not happen because your data is insecure if it is like this. If your application is created in such a way, your application is not providing security for the user. Anybody can access this data, your personal data, by simply clicking on the back button or forward button of the browser. So this should not happen. So what we can do is we can use the concept of sessions to avoid this. What is session going to do? Session is actually a time period. From the time you log into your application till the time you log out of your application, the time period or the duration for which you are using this application by authentication. By authentication in the sense you must be an existing user of that application. You must have a username and password already created. So then you will become an authenticated user. So you will enter your username and password and log into your application. You will browse all the pages, your inbox, your sent mails, everything you will be checking your starred mails, important mails, all these mails you can manage, right? So you'll manage after that one, you'll log out after some time. So this time period is called a session. And for this time period, the application will store all the information that you are accessing in this application. Hello? They have class address. So whatever username you entered, your password you entered, this username and password will be stored with the help of a session name, right? And as long as you are logged in, the data will be saved on the server. your username and password. And once you log out of the system, your username and password will be deleted. That means your session will be deleted. So once this username and password is deleted on the server, if somebody when you log out, automatically it will be deleted when you log out. When you sign in, a session variable will be created with your username and password. And when you sign out, the same username and password will be deleted. So once it is deleted, then if somebody else comes and tries to log into your application, he will not be able to log in because he doesn't know the password. Right? He may know the username, but he will not know the password. That is the importance of session. You cannot do this with, right? He can store some piece of information, but it should not be a confidential information. It can be a public information. You can store public information using cookies because it will be stored on the client machine. But session will be created on the server, and as long as you are logged into your application, your application will store your information like your username and password, email, etc., on the server temporarily. Once you log out of the application, automatically that information will be removed. So this concept is called as session handling. So how to use this sessions or session handling in PHP? So that we are going to see. So to demonstrate you the session handling mechanism, the registration and login system that I showed you at the beginning, right? REGLOG. This for use that application, right? So this is the login. So here in this application, when I deal with this application, I'm also going to deal with database. So before going into this application, let us see the database, how to create a database, and then how to create a table in MySQL. Uh, Later we can use this application to insert database. So for this, what I'm going to use is register. I'm going to use a database called registration database. First, let us go to MySQL database. How to go to MySQL database? Instead of accessing your database from the command prompt like this, from here, get a MySQL prompt here in this command prompt. There you will type the commands like database name, something from database name. It will start serving the particular database. Then you can use the commands like create table, right? Table name, that's the field names. So this is how you use commands to create tables. If you want to insert value, then you use insert command. Insert into the field names and then values. And to the semicolon. This is the syntax for using insertion. Then update also, right? So instead of using that command prompt process and all, you can XAMPP that we installed at the beginning provide us with a graphical user interface. Create database and tables by simply for the database. So to do that, what we have to do is we just type the local which will display the dashboard. So in the dashboard, you will find at the top right corner PHP. Click on this, then XAMPP is started. Then you get this PHP my admin page. So now look at the URL. Earlier it was dashboard localhost slash dashboard. Now it is localhost slash PHP my admin. So this PHP my admin page, this is called as PHP my admin page. So this is where from where you can create databases and tables and store those tables in a particular database. So on the left panel, you are able to see all these links, CSS, all these. These are all the list of databases already available system. So one among them is this registration. So for our application, like login, database. So when you click on this database, it is going to expand and show you all the list of tables that are there under this database called. So I'm going to use a table called users. So this is the table users. So let me show the structure of this table. So this is the structure of the table. It has four fields. First one is user ID, and this is the primary key. So this yellow color key symbol indicates that this particular field in your table is but a primary key. Okay. So and what is its data type? An integer. And what is the length of the field is 5. I'm given the length as 5. And will it accept null values? No. Right. And the first field user ID is an auto increment field. You have an auto increment option extra. If you want to modify this field name, you can click on change and modify. So you can give a modify this entire field name, then click on save. So I don't want to modify it, so that I'm going to click on save. And similarly, you have username field, email field, password field, and the email field has another key symbol beside it with gray color. So this indicates that this is not a primary key, but it is a unique field. But that means what? The user has to give a unique email. So if he is giving an existing email ID by of somebody's, it will not accept. So that is the meaning of unique. So this is primary key. This is unique field. Okay, and password can be same. They're not making it as unique. So the remaining three fields: username, email, password. They are all varchar data types. Username is of length 25, varchar is 35, and email is 35, and password is 50. You can also modify these values. If you want to create newly a field, or if you want to see the list of rows that are already stored under this table, click on this browse button. Then this will show the list of records available. There is only one record. So that record user ID is 6. The earlier records I have deleted them. So that's why the user ID is starting from 6. Otherwise it will start from 1. Right? So the user ID is 6. Username is Tarakeshwar. Email ID is Tarakeshwar. Password is something. It is not this one because it is encrypted. So I have used in my program predefined function MD5 algorithm to encrypt my password and store it in the database. Without encryption, if I store, this password will be visible to me. But now the password is not visible to me. Even if I forget the password, I'll not know what is this password. So I have to remember this password. For simplicity, I've given my mobile number, 98661137. So that is encrypted with this way. Okay. So if you are If you want to create a new table, then you can click on this new here. Then it will ask you to enter the name. Remove one of the table. This table is there, test is there, sample is there. There is no data here in this sample table. So let me delete this sample table. Registration. Show all the tables. To delete this table. So these are the list of tables that are there under registration. Okay, so at the top you are able to see the database name as registration here also. So under this you have these tables. So I want to remove this sample table. Check this checkbox which is before the sample and then click on drop. So this is going to delete the table. Okay. So now under this registration database I want to create a new table. Create a new table. So just click on this new the table name something and you see. By default it will show you four fields. If you want to add extra fields you can add them here. So I don't want to add them, so let me add these here. So I want to give roll number. So second field say email ID. Third field say branch. Third field say password. These are the fields that I'm creating. I want to make roll number its data type as varchar, and this email also as varchar, branch also as varchar, password also as varchar. Then I can specify roll number as 10, as 10 characters. Email I can say 100. Then the first one, the roll number, I want to make it as a primary key. So to make it as a primary key under index, select on this drop down, choose primary. Then we'll get this tab add index. Click on go. So we're getting a primary with below this. Right? So that is what roll number field in the table is made as a primary key. And if you want to make this as I auto increment, then select this check. I don't want to use it because my roll number is a combination of alphabets and numeric digits. So anything else, nothing, other information is not necessary. So this is all. Email also I want to make it as unique field. So to make email as unique field, you click on this. So primary you select unique. Click on this. Now this is going to become unique. Email is going to become unique. Branch may not be unique and password may not be unique. To do that, click on. Now this is going to create a new table. Look at the top, database name is registration. Under that, we have created a table called CSCC, and this is the table containing. This is the structure of the table. So the structure tab is highlighted there. So you have how many fields? Four fields: roll number, email, branch, password. So roll number is made a primary key. So these are you are getting a key icon in yellow color. Email is a unique field, so you are getting a key icon in gray color. Branch and password are not unique or these are the data types. Now you want to insert some values into the table. You can click on this insert and give say number 8, I don't know who it is. Maybe financial password say 4, 5. Now the query insert query will be this insert command executed. So look at this one. It is showing a success tick mark, one row inserted. It is showing the command executed. Insert into table name CSCC. Field names are roll number, email, branch, password. Values are 18911A057 ABC. Password is now you can go to browse tab, see that row is inside. 18911 So this is how you can insert values into the database from this PHP management directly. But we don't want to insert the values into the database this way. Instead, we want our application, the PHP application, to insert these values into the database. So as part of that, we have created this users table. Under this users table, you have these fields, as I told you earlier. User ID, username, email, and password. Okay, we are going to use this application for our application. Now let us go to our application and so but just let me have a brief introduction. We have index page, logout page, home page, register page, date profile, view profile, and view and view profile. So if you log into this application, if you are an existing user, I'm an existing user, Rakesh, it is the email ID tarakeshwar@vjt.in. Password is my mobile number. Fine. Now I'm redirected to home page, home.php. Next.php we came to home. Now I'm having my name displayed here, right? Then a sign out hyperlink is created. When I click on this sign out button, I come back to this login page, index.php. So now if I click back button, I'm not going to go back to the home page. Right? I'm not going to go back to the home page. So these buttons will not. Why this is happening? Because I have used sessions in this application, right? So altogether, in the next class that is on Friday, we take 2 or 3 classes to completely explain this application because there are multiple pages. You get confused and will not have a continuous class. Right? After you have class on Friday, again you have it on Monday. So if you are regular in all these 3 classes, then you will have continuity and understand this application without any confusion. Otherwise, you'll be confused. So I'm telling you now itself, please be present for the next coming 2 to 3 classes. Don't be absent, right? So we'll continue the next class. It is on Friday. On Friday, I'm going to show you what are sessions and how to use sessions. How they'll be helpful for us to validate a user. And also how to insert data into the tables of the database using the PHP program. And also how to retrieve data from the tables of the database. In case of registration page, you're going to insert data into the table. In case of login page, you're going to retrieve data from the table. Say, for example, now I'm going to click on sign up. Here I'm going to say, check this About this, there is only one row in this field: user ID, username, email, password. User ID is 6, username is Tarkeshwar, email ID is tarkeshwar@bjp.ac.in, some password. Right? There is only one row already available in the database. Now, when I click on this sign me up, see what is it saying? Successfully registered. That means what? A new data, new row must be inserted in our table. If I refresh this browser, now you'll get this user ID. User ID is 7, its value. Username is Rishit. Email is Rishit at gmail. Password I've given again the mobile number, but this time it's different mobile number. It is encrypted and stored. Okay. So our application has successfully registered. Now I'll go to this one. Then Rishit. Now what is the application showing? Hello Rishit. Right. So this is how our application will work. I'll explain the code related to this application coming to the now. If you have texted your roll number, well and good. Otherwise, please text your roll number. Anish, ask me, department of